I could make $800 in a shift and drink 12 beers.
18, you said.
I mean,
is it 18 or is it 12?
I don't know. Depends if it was Thursday or Friday. It didn't matter.
Hey, I'm Armando Leduc, producer, film actor, and owner of Leduc Entertainment. I have chosen a life off the beaten path and wanted to find others that are doing the same. Spaghetti on the Wall is a show based on all of the years that I've thrown spaghetti on the wall and nurtured what's stuck. We will share fun stories, ideas, tips, tricks, and more. Welcome to Spaghetti on the Wall. Welcome to another episode of SOTW, also known as Spaghetti on the Wall, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Iceman himself, Adrian Sosebee. I was gonna say Adrian Ferrara because I'm used to saying Adrian Ferrara, dose. But you're also known as Ice.
Ice, here. Yes, I'm known as Ice here at Leduc.
People call you Ice.
I'm loving it. I just saw the Top Gun movie, and so they brought, just so you know, the character Iceman is in Top Gun. So that's kind of inspiration for my whole, Ice persona. Just
right. What is your persona?
Well, it's just kind of like giving 110%. Not making mistakes, going all out.
Not making mistakes.
Not making mistakes.
Oh wow!
That's the Iceman don't make mistakes in the air. I'm
saying
that's the persona. I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. I do make mistakes, but I'm saying like the persona is that you're
don't
cold.
Make
you just don't make mistakes.
Cold because of the discipline. You mean?
I don't know if it's discipline, but I just think it's the just business like pedigree.
Heard. So Adrian's last day is today with Leduc Entertainment, which is pretty sad, but it's bittersweet because here at Leduc, I always try and inspire and try and grow all of my employees. And I always say this when somebody starts working here, that I am not naive to think that this is going to be their last job, right? As much as we've enjoyed having you around, it is time for you to spread your wings and fly. And so talk to us about
I'll be honest, like this whole thing has just been like a movie, basically. My whole experience here at Leduc has been basically like a screenplay, because what happened was when the vid hit, I'll say, in March of 2020 or whenever that was, I was down and out, and I literally, I was in a job market applying for like video editing jobs, and just everything was so frustrating because I remember this one time I applied for the job and they left it open so that you could see everybody else's reels. They let you see, and it was like 1,000. Like it's just like, and it's just like how can you compete with that? So it was just a bad job market, and fortunately, because of Pedro, I worked on a movie with Pedro, and it led to working here. But it's just been a big inspiration. And what this job has allowed me to do is to build my confidence back up, and to know that, like, because with COVID and everything, it just I was just low because I got job scammed. It was just a crazy time, and I was basically had been a bartender for 6 years and was trying to get back into doing what I did years ago when I went to school for. But what this job did was it reignited my passion, and it's crazy because I remember when I was bartending in like probably 2019 or 2020, like I remember my manager being like, "Hey, you ever think you're gonna get back into video making?" Like kind of joking, like in a sarcastic way, and I was like, "God, I don't feel like I am." But now it's like I'm all the way back there, and it's basically because of the consistent work we did, and just day in and day out, and we've been grinding here. Like we've been creating more content than anybody in the state of Louisiana. By far.
Hallelujah. And so now you're moving on. Tell us about what you're going to do, man.
Well, the big news, and I guess I'm announcing this. I wasn't planning on announcing. I didn't know I was going to be on the show today, but I figured I might as well do it on the show, is that I'm starting a food network called HAF, Healthy and Fantastic. That's going to be it's going to be on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, all of that. And I feel like smart TV market is it's kind of like the Wild Wild West now. I have a partner that's been invested in looking into this, and it's just like there's a lot of people just with their own networks popping up, and it's just a good time to get in now, because in 5 years it's going to be there's going to be even more. And I don't know the numbers, but I did a sales thing that I sent you, and they were talking about how basically the Roku market is huge. Like the smart TV, the Apple TV, all that is just, it's huge because what I think is people are it's just like the next progression. Like social media is big, but there's a big market of people that just don't like social media.
I agree.
So
that
are like they want to go back to cable. Like when I was a kid, my entertainment was HBO, cable TV, just sitting down there, just sit there on the couch and like just. But now it's like everybody wants people in their niche to make their own content. It's just it's just from every source. So I feel like being in New Orleans, it would be really successful to focus on the food. I'm going to try to focus on a lot of like pop-ups and just independent people and just give shine to a lot of smaller food vendors, you know?
Let me just, I'm going to bring this up because I was looking at this. I don't ever go on Twitter, but we've got a new client that's starting on Twitter. And so I'm like, all right, well, let me go check out Twitter. And what I did was I looked up, it started asking me questions like about like what my interests are and all of that, you know, and I totally forgot about that because like when you join a new social media network, they're like, okay, well, we want to give you content and we want to give you
you were starting fresh on Twitter.
Yeah, it was like pretty much starting fresh. I mean, I had been on the network, but I guess it knows that I haven't been really active on it. So they're all like, all right, let's see how we can get him back on, right? And so they asked me a bunch of questions about, you know, what do I like, right? Fashion, beauty, arts and culture, business and finance, travel, music. That way, you know, and so as, you know, perfect example of what you're talking about of how people are like niching down and really only wanting to get the things that they want to receive, you know, like, I mean, that's a perfect example.
It's just like, here's the deal. Like the fact is like YouTube is big, but I think there's also a lot of people that don't want to be on the, you know, that, I mean, they can have it on their smart TV, but they want something that's like individual, like how YouTube is, everybody has their own channel, but maybe more like a network though, so more refined footage. So it's not just like some.
Well, you know, Samsung has their own streaming service too, like with the TV, Samsung TV.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And it's so funny because like I'll be watching something, I'm like, what the heck is this?
When they're just filling hours, like late night TV or something.
Oh, dude, it's like it's wild. Yeah, you're right. It is the wild west over there, man. Like some of the Samsung TV.
I think there's a lot of like I think it's gonna be pretty the future of smart TVs is big, and I'm hoping I can capitalize. I can capitalize, and also, I mean, also part of my brand, Healthy and Fantastic, is kind of a health movement. I mean, how it started was I was a bartender, and I was overweight, more so than I am now, even, and drinking very heavily. Probably, I'm not going to say how many beers a shift because it get me in trouble.
How many?
At least 18 sometimes.
What?
6 hours.
Shut up.
Not even lying.
18 beers.
I could do it.
Still work.
Because you're moving. You're just moving the
whole time. And you're still working.
I'm busting my ass making, you know, $500-$600. I don't want to say much money, but making a lot of
Why
money.
Why does it matter? You're video now.
It doesn't matter. So,
yeah, Go ahead.
I can make $800 in a shift and drink 12 beers.
18, you said.
I mean.
Is it 18 or is it 12?
I don't know. Depends if it was Thursday or Friday. It didn't matter.
You don't even know, man.
No, but
dude, 18
let me
beers?
tell you. So we're laughing about that, but what happened was, though, I started. I had a situation where I was in a drunk driving accident with a woman.
Oh, geez.
In Atlanta, and we were making out for the first time, and then she wrecked the car, and I had blood all over my eyes.
Jeez.
And I basically came back to New Orleans, and I'm like telling everybody, and she's like, and then she just like blocks me. You know, doesn't pay for my lawyer for anything, just blocks me. So I was like, you know, I'm going to make a change right now. You know, like I'm going to start exercising.
That'll do it.
And I started walking to Pontchartrain Beach, where I also started a graffiti mural. That's HAF. That's where that's located. That's Google Maps, Pontchartrain Beach. And I lost a bunch of weight. And I did it on YouTube. It was called HAF 2020. That's the old. I changed it to Healthy and Fantastic now. But you can still go on Healthy and Fantastic YouTube, and you can see my videos. I would just do these 12-minute vlogs with my iPhone, and I lost like 30 pounds. And I did it publicly, and next thing you know, there's like 4 or 5 different women talking to me, and it was just like I got all this attention from women.
You were dating 4 and 5 women.
I wasn't dating them. I was just like kind of like talking to them, and then I just like would probably drop the ball on everything because it was too many at once. So that's what happened.
That's definitely hard.
I was using social media to actually like target like female women too, like doing paid ads. I spent like a lot of money on paid ads just to kind of bolster my personal brand, like in the, you know, just in the scene of like, I guess like random people. I don't know, like people like women on French. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I was doing it, but I did it, and then I lost all the weight, and then I got promoted to bartender. Like because I was bar back, and I got promoted to bartender, and then pretty much we like started breaking sales records. Everything we're doing really good, and then COVID hit, and it was just like
It took you out.
No, my whole world was destroyed, and all my friends that I was in this world that I had become at the top of because I had a clothing brand, I had Frenchman Clothing, they're all posting their Venmos, and it was just like I'm kind of a person like I'm influenced by people around me. Like if they're successful, if they're not successful, it's gonna like affect me, and it was just like everybody in the scene was just like Venmo me, I'm out of money, like all these musicians and stuff, and it was just like it was depressing, and I was down. And then that's when I got the whole job scam that happened where I got totally fooled and, tricked, and they took my social security number, and I'm just like, but yeah, I think the Healthy and Fantastic it's also a health movement to like kind of get off alcohol and exercise and eat right. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're going to be pushing.
I think the content that's going to be, there's going to be, first of all, on Healthy and Fantastic, I'm going to bring back all the old HAF 2020 episodes. I got all those in the archives. I got a bunch of content just from like old stuff from old videos. I'll pull together. Also, like at overnight, the hours that are going to be late night, my partner Gabe is going to do like video art with DJ music or something. Just so we can have programming.
That's cool.
So we'll have like a effect so you could be late at night, turn on the TV and just watch different video effects and play the DJ like a screensaver, but just like a video content, like old domain free content or whatever, copyright free.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's the plan, and I'm excited, and it's just like I feel like now is a good time to seize getting into the Roku game, having a network, because you can say, hey, I have a network. Go check me out. And I think definitely for Leduc you should do it, and I'll let you know my experiences with this once
let me know.
Figure out more of the ins and outs and how to do it. But yeah, it's exciting.
So you went to NYU for film, right? You graduated with a film degree?
Yeah, I have a film degree in film production from Tisch School of the Arts, which is like the specific school at NYU for filmmaking. Like that's where like I was in an elevator with Spike Lee once. I never saw Martin Scorsese. I don't know. There was like Keanu Reeves was nearby one time, but that was all. But it was cool. NYU was great. Like we used to have these screenings, and like one time the screening, I'll tell you the story, was for I forget the name of the movie, but it had Kate Hudson before she was famous in it, and Chloe Sevigny. And I was at this after party, and I was just drinking sake, and I was just like,
about 18 of them.
They had an automatic sake machine. You just go up and fill up. So it's like ding ding.
Hot?
It was I don't remember if it was hot or cold. I don't have that good of a memory. I was like drunk, and I remember just hitting on Chloe Sevigny from Kids, and she was like, I think she was pretending to be a lesbian to avoid me, I think is what it was. And like Kate Hudson was right there, and then like me and my friend were so drunk we just puked walking back on the street.
Man.
Like it was just like
How old were you?
Probably 18. So that was or 19.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That's the kind of 19-year-old behavior that I expect.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just funny because I never saw Chloe Sevigny again. That's the thing. That was my only.
I don't
opportunity.
necessarily know who that is.
You know, Kids, the movie Kids. I'm saying
her
her name
got
wrong.
AIDS or something.
What? No, not Brokeback Mountain, but
No, man. Kids, right? It's in
the
New York,
kids,
right?
Yeah, New York, yeah.
And they're all having sex. And they're like,
she was the one who got AIDS.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, I think I know who you're talking about.
But no, NYU was great. I'll be honest, though. I didn't really learn much from the professors because I was teaching the professors stuff how to digital edit, and I was getting gigs. Like, sophomore year, I pretty much was working, like, doing video editing because Final Cut Pro just came out, and nobody knew how to use it, and you could make DVDs. So I was getting money doing, like, working. I did something for a fashion designer, like an in-store display. Like, for a while, it was hard to print DVDs, and there was a market for that. And I could do that. So like NYU was a fun experience living in New York, but the professors taught me nothing. Like they were working on film because they knew 35 millimeter film, 60 millimeter film. Like
right.
I'm not doing that today.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I was teaching them.
I was talking to somebody about, school in general and how college is A students teaching B students to work for C students.
Right.
Because the thing is like they're all of these instructors or professors, and I'm not trying to be
No, and I had a great time at NYU. I'm not trying to say anything negative.
And they're knowledgeable, but the problem is if you're in academia and all you're focused on is, creating tests and teaching what you know, and you've stopped learning because you're not in the real world and you're a professor, how can you really teach kids what the real world is like if you aren't working in the real world? Like, and how could you? You don't have the hours to even spend out there knowing what's coming down the pike and like what the real world experiences are. When people come here, to work for LeDuc, interns, they don't. They've got an intern right over here, Ellie, everyone. But, Jeffrey, who graduated from Loyola, he came here, and I'm like, you don't know anything. Like, you don't know anything.
Well, and the thing is, I did have one really inspirational a couple inspirational teachers. I had this guy, Angel Franco, who's a New York, he's retired, but he was a New York Times photographer, and he was a big person for 9/11 down there. Like he did, and he was like a photojournalist, and that class was badass, and I learned a lot from that. And there was another teacher, Amos.
What did you learn?
I learned this is the things he taught me, I think, that I remember. The takeaways from Angel Franco was two things. He said, shoot from your heart. That was one thing. And he said, always watch the edges of your frame. That was a big tip I took away for photography, like watching like the corners, just like look, people are always looking here, but look at the edges, What's crazy is I'm still semi in touch with him on Instagram. Like I've messaged him back and forth a couple times. So he was like still a really big person. He gave me a good grade because by the end of NYU, I wasn't going to class. I was like working, So it was like he gave me a grade when I only went to like 2 of his classes, so it was.
Well, I mean, shit. If you're working
I did
and
the job,
you were making it happen.
I just wasn't. It's just like I was like jumping on it, and
maybe that's what you needed from college. Maybe you needed the fundamentals. I guess that's probably what they teach is.
Well, I took another class on color printing, which was really cool, but it was totally impractical because now it's all digital. So I learned I learned how to do a very complex process of printing big photographs.
So what's the purpose of the university then? What is the purpose of going to school?
It was in transition. Now it's probably different. It's probably all digital. But when I was there in 1998.
Yeah, I mean, but regardless of, things change now.
Right.
You know what I mean? As we're talking,
everything's changing.
You know what I mean? From like today to tomorrow, things are, I mean, shit, this phone is iPhone 13. And then we're rolling into, the iPhone 14, probably in October. So it's like
probably by Christmas.
Then what is the point of the universities? What I really didn't like, and I went to Augusta State, didn't graduate because I was like, I got to get out of here, is the fact that they were like, oh, you have to take these classes.
Right. I hated that too.
And I'm like, why?
All the requirements.
I feel like that was a money grab for y'all.
Right.
Because I'm not here for that. Like, I'm not in high school anymore. And I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be an attorney.
Right.
I'm not I don't need that. And I was a vocal major. Right. So I'm like, why do I need to take math if I'm going to be singing? Like, what point of that? Well, you need to do this for, to graduate. And I'm like, I mean, there has to be a reason. I don't know what the reason is. And maybe, my brain doesn't function that way.
I'll be honest. I did have some fun because as a film major, I got to pick whatever class I wanted after the first year.
Sure.
They had the requirements, but it was like after the first year, I took this one class in African literature. I took
because you wanted to.
Because I wanted to.
Great. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so if the university was set up more in that realm, for me, I feel like that would be a lot better.
My experience was good. I just started NYU at a weird time in the film school because literally they were transitioning from analog to digital.
Right.
And that was like, if I just come like 3 or 4 years later, it probably wouldn't have been. It was a weird transition because like for example, my freshman year, I did a radio drum with 1/4-inch tape. I know how to do that. I can cut and tape and sound splice and do diagonal cuts. And like, I did a radio drum. Well, here's what happened. Everybody freshman year, there's an award called the Tony Hawkins Award. And it's like, everybody's like, who's going to win it? The freshman, it's like, kind of like, you're like, we're at an elite school. It's like, who's going to win this? And so I was like at the top of my class in the radio class. I was like, did a really good opening project. And then this other student in my class wanted to partner with me, and he wanted to do his script, but he didn't show up to the read through. So we read the script and it was just horrible. So like we had a group of 4 people and I'm like, it's like days before the project's due. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to do all this myself. So I just did the whole thing myself without my classmates. And then we won the award and they put my picture on the wall with my classmates in the picture, even though they hadn't done anything.
You won the award.
Yeah, I won the award.
Look at you.
Yeah, so it's the Tony Hawkins Award, 1998. You can look it up.
Yeah, baby.
But no, but I'm just saying, like, all that process though, like, would have been way easier if I'd done it in Pro Tools. The next year, they would have done it in Pro Tools. So I missed out on learning Pro Tools because my class was like antiquated. You know, got outdated after a year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of bad luck. But I'm not bitter. I had a great time.
Sure,
I went to
college is fun.
Concerts were great. New York was amazing. Like, there's definitely like people that I lost track of from college because social media wasn't around that I wish I was in touch with, like my ex Liz Kim, if she's around out there. But
she's married, has kids.
As married and kids.
Yeah,
Korean.
Don't try to don't mess
Liz
up
Kim,
her
where are
thing,
you?
Man.
Come back.
She's got a life now. Please.
She's very successful.
She's successful.
The last I heard from her, she was dating Puff Daddy. That's what she told me in the email.
Just look, we don't need to destroy her life, right? We just need to let her do her thing.
The thing is though, there's 8 million Liz Kims, so it's not really gonna. It's not. There's like it's her.
She'll know though. She'll know. She'll know. She'll watch this show, and she'll go, "Oh my God, it's Adrian."
But
how long did you guys date for?
Oh man, here's the thing. She wanted to come with me to study abroad for Buenos Aires. It was my senior year, and she wanted to come with me on the study abroad, and I was just like,
and you said no.
I said no. I put my foot down.
Wow.
Because I wanted.
Were you in love? No, obviously
she was
not.
in love with me, but I wasn't in love with her. But now I thinking back, I feel like she was probably the best sex I had with anyone. So it's like, it's kind of like it's bittersweet, like you're saying before. It's like I just wish I'd maybe kept in touch with her more. Plus, her parents owned ATM machines, so it's like,
wow,
it was probably my ticket to success.
Right, she's probably.
Oh,
rich
she's way richer than me.
And enjoying life and you're with HAF.
So.
I'm getting a Roku channel. You're getting a Roku channel, man. Who knows? That thing might just blow up.
I'm just joking. I'm being dramatic. It was just, it was a college relationship. It's all good. We left on good terms, but I just never saw her again. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you often think about girls you dated in the past and where they are these days?
No, just Liz Kim. That's the only one.
Wow, she was the one that got away.
Nobody else.
Wow.
Well, I'm still in touch with some. Like I got back in touch with one of my exes. Was another person. I'm not gonna name the names, but
go ahead. I'm just kidding.
But no, I mean, it's just she's someone that just totally disappeared because I didn't add her on Facebook. I never had a chance to add her on Facebook or anything. So I have no idea what happened to her. And there were other just friends and stuff from NYU. I lost track of everybody because I went down to Atlanta to start working, and then like I think I lost track of my New York crowd. So there's still some people I am friends with Facebook, like some editors. There's a guy, Paul Greenhouse, who edited the Wu-Tang documentary that was on Showtime. And like, I know people doing still big things from like my high school, but there were a lot of people, like it was a lot of talented people at NYU. One of the actors from Beautiful Minds was in my class. The Gruber guy, the dorky guy from Beautiful Minds was like in my film class. Like my friend was in the class with him, but yeah, it was great, and I think it's taken me to get to this point I think the Healthy and Fantastic brand is it's like finally what I'm all happy with, because I've had other brands. I had a record label, I had clothing brand. It's just like something I made mistakes, and also just like at the end of the day, it's just like it wasn't what I really loved doing, and this like food comedy stuff is what I really love doing because I love food and I love silly videos and like comedy stuff. So. You are the personification of throwing spaghetti at the wall. Yes. That's you. I am. That's awesome. I've done it. I'll be honest. I was working at BET, making good money, traveling. I did a movie called Know Your History with Paul Mooney. I was a producer on it. I had lunch dinner with QD3 in Los Angeles. Like I was at the height of my career, and I just said, fuck it. I'll do a record label for EDM music. I got caught up in this whole scene. And next thing you know, I'm voted best record label in Atlanta by Creative Loafing, which has, if you're watching here in Louisiana, Gambit, it has probably 5 times the subscription people. Like Atlanta is a big market. And I was like in the newspaper and everything. Like
Do you feel like you're afraid of success?
I think I am afraid of success. Yeah.
Do you feel like you
I'm-
self-sabotage
I'm not.
yourself?
I'm not afraid. I don't self-sabotage, but I feel like in the past, my problem was being insecure and thinking that I couldn't do something. So it led me to make decisions like getting a business partner or doing, like borrowing money or doing decisions that like I should have done myself. But I mean, I'll be honest, the Frenchman clothing brand was a pretty good success. Like I just had to end it because I don't have the energy. Or like same with the record label, like it didn't really go. We went out on top. Like my last song has 160,000 plays. Like you can go, it's on right now. It's called the Healthy and Fantastic SoundCloud, but it used to be called Freak Step. And I mean, we have 1.8 million plays. Like it's just like maybe I think what it is like I have to. It wasn't the right thing for me yet, because now looking back, do I love EDM music? No.
You don't.
I not anymore. Like not. I mean, I listen to it some, but do I want to go to a rave and stay up till 7 a.m. and like?
Is that why you got into it?
Because I love the music and hanging out. Yeah, going to raves. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you started it.
I mean, I was just in this scene. I just started hanging out at these raves, taking pictures and like documenting it, and then like I would meet DJs, and they needed somebody with like who was older than them to like help them like put their music out and just like make a video for them. I was just in that whole world. So next thing you know, like I'm in the scene, like I'm a local celebrity, and it's like, that's what I regret. I got focused on with that brand too much of the being seen, hanging out, and then lost track of the work. So then like it was just like partying and,
So I'm seeing a trend, right? I'm seeing a bit of a trend. Right. Like you come in, you blow something up, and then you bounce, right? Is that what happens?
I don't know.
You do something really well,
maybe
and then it's like, all right, now it's great. I'm out of here. Like you don't want to. Like I feel like, man, all those things you could have like maybe taken to like a whole nother level, or maybe you didn't want to do that.
I don't think that's how I am.
No.
I don't think that's like an addictive thing. I think there's a lot more to the story to both of those brands. Like first of all, going back to the Frenchman brand. There was at a time when my bar owner told me he was going to buy the Frenchman bookstore on the corner and I could have a merchandise shop.
Wow.
So that was like my business plan. I was going to be selling merch right on the heart of Frenchman. Nobody else would be doing it. That guy in the bookstore, I approached him about selling my shirts there. He doesn't want to sell merchandise. I came to New Orleans. Everybody does Bourbon Street merchandise. Nobody does Frenchman Street merchandise. That's what my brand is. That's the void it wanted to fill. But I needed an outlet to sell it, and I don't have that outlet, and I don't online sales. In COVID, what happened was I was still getting online sales in COVID, but I was having all these delays with shipping from COVID. So people would complain. It was a pain in the ass. Like, just try to sell a product during COVID. Like, oh yeah, it's a pain. Yeah, all the shipping logistical issues. So I just kind of like put in the towel. So I think eventually I could revive. The Freak Step brand is dead. That brand is. That's dead. But the Frenchman clothing brand, I don't think that's over. And I think I didn't really bounce on that one, but I think it just needed a break. And it's just like it's selling clothes is like a whole job, like just being a salesman for products. Totally, it's just like you got to do it. But I had fun, and you know what? I have no regrets with anything, honestly. Like I think no matter what job I do, like I give it all of my energy. Yeah. So it's like, it's just like a matter of like, it's more about not a matter of bouncing. It's just more of a matter of like, I have to shift my energy to something else so that I can put everything into that. I'm definitely an all or nothing type of person.
Sure. So let me ask you that. So if HAF, right?
Yeah.
There's the brand.
Healthy and Fantastic.
Healthy and Fantastic. This is the thing.
Yes.
At what point, how do you define success for you?
I think success for the Roku channel would be me selling ads on there and making good money selling ads on there. Ad sales. It would be a sale. It'd be like me getting, I don't know what the number is right now. I will find that number. This is all kind of new still, but I think it would be a certain amount of ad sales per day. I'd be like a weekly or a daily ad sales so that all my content is generating this passive income is what I want of ad sales.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, I really do appreciate all of the things that you've brought to the table.
It's been a pleasure, and you know, I've had a fair amount of jobs. Like I've had some jobs, but this one is definitely going to be very memorable because it really was my business school. This was where I learned, like, and also it just helped me get back and just being in the routine of waking up at 6 a.m, doing like just getting out of that nightlife routine, and now like. I'm all about work. I don't even have the urge to go to the club and drink. I haven't had a drink in like 2 years now, you know? So like, awesome. Not one drink. So it's like, I feel like this job allowed me to give me the confidence to take me that now I'm going to fulfill my dream and just try to make it happen, you know? So I thank you so much, Armando. And I'm so happy to have been on the show. It was really fun to finally, after a year ago, shooting and editing this, to being a guest on it. It's pretty wild. So that's great.
I'm glad it's still going. I'm glad people are still watching the show.
It's still going on every week.
Every week, noon, dude. I'm really gonna miss you working here. I'm not gonna miss you because
we're still in touch. Yeah, I saw. I'm gonna be telling you all about this Roku channel, and I think I want to help you guys get into the Roku game so that you have your own Leduc smart TV. I think
I love it. That's
you
the
have
goal.
So many hard drives over there. You can just imagine just uploading those and just getting ad revenue from like
who knows?
Because here's the deal. Yeah. On YouTube, there's no ad money.
Right.
So it's like on Roku, you can get ad money. So
there you go. Yeah. Be like, okay, cool. Yeah. This is what we're doing. No, I love it so much. Adrian, tell them where
Healthy
to find
and Fantastic on Instagram and YouTube and everything. Just Google Healthy and Fantastic. One word, Healthy and Fantastic. Thank you so much.
That is Adrian Sosebee, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel at Leduc Entertainment. You can find us on the website, leducentertainment.com. Spaghetti on the Wall you can find on Spotify, Apple Music, Google, anywhere you can find podcasts. You can find Spaghetti on the Wall. Thank you so much, and we'll see y'all next week.